500 and NASDAQ closing at all-time highs. The Dow up, gold up, real estate.
Hello traders, and welcome to another TrendSpider technical analysis series video. In this video, we're going to be talking about moving averages. We'll touch briefly on how to select them, and then we'll do a deep dive into different ways that you can use them in your day trading on the TrendSpider platform. Let's jump into it. There are many schools of thought regarding which moving averages are best to use. First, there are quite a few different styles of moving averages. You've got simple, exponential, whole, Wilders, smoothed, and more. For the sake of simplicity, we'll put our focus on the simple moving average as it's the most commonly used because it gives an equal weighting to all values contained within its calculation. Next, we need to discuss moving average length. Again, there are many schools of thought here, but if we distill those down, we land on the idea that it's good to use at least 2 to 3 lengths, one short, one medium, and one long. The short length is often somewhere between 3 and 8 periods, meaning it's taking into account between 3 to 8 candles worth of price data. The short moving average will also follow price action very closely. The medium length is usually somewhere between 9 and 20 periods. It gives us an idea of the intermediate trend of the price action. And then finally, a commonly used length for the longer term moving average is often somewhere between 30 and 50 periods. Ultimately, the lengths that you choose are completely up to you, but for the sake of this video, we'll focus our attention on a 5 period for our short, a 20 period for our intermediate, and a 50 period for our long. Now that we've selected our moving average style and lengths, let's talk through a few different ways to trade the moving averages. One of the first ways a trader can utilize moving averages to make a trading decision is by using them to determine the general trend at any given time. We can do this by observing where the moving averages are in relation to one another, as well as where price is in relation to them. In an uptrend, price trades above the moving averages, and the moving averages themselves tend to be in order from fastest to slowest, top to bottom. In the example pictured, we can see price above the 5 SMA, which is above the 20, and they're all above the 50. In a downtrend, the opposite is true. Price will be below all of the moving averages, and the moving averages will be in order from longest to shortest, top to bottom. Price will be below the 5, which will be below the 20, and they'll all be below the 50. If price is neither trending up or down, it's either distributing or accumulating. In periods of distribution or accumulation, you'll notice the moving averages crossing back and forth as price trades within a range. If you're trading using your moving averages as signals to get you into or out of trades, it's often easiest to let these sideways periods resolve before placing a trade. When trading using moving averages, it's also always a good idea to understand what is happening on bigger time frames. Oftentimes, traders will use even longer moving average lengths, the 100, the 200, and so on, to determine the longer term trend. If the longer term trend is down, it will generally be more advantageous for a trader to short into strength than to be buying into weakness. If the longer term trend is up, it will generally be more wise to go long into weakness than to be shorting into strength. Going through these steps before placing trades can most certainly increase the probability of a successful trade, but if you're switching back and forth between timeframes with several moving averages on your chart, it might be easy to get your signals crossed. If you're the type of trader who prefers a more clean looking chart but does still want to know what's going on with the moving averages that you follow, you can utilize a very efficient tool on the TrendSpider platform called the Smart Checklist to do so. Let's say, for example, you want the Smart Checklist to show you if the daily close is above the 200 SMA and if the 15-minute close is above the 20 and the 5 SMAs. In order to utilize the Smart Checklist to show you this, simply create a script with your predefined criteria, go to your sidebar, select Add Widget, and choose the Smart Checklist option. Once the Smart Checklist is loaded up, select the drop-down menu, search for your script, and select it. You'll note here I've defined that price is above the 200 SMA on the daily, the 5 SMA and the 20 SMA on the 15-minute, and we can see that all of these things are true on this name right now. Now that we've gone over the basics of understanding trend via the moving averages, let's talk through a few more ways that you can use them in your day trading. One of the first things that new traders learn when it comes to trading moving averages is buying and selling on the cross. When a shorter length moving average crosses up on a longer length moving average, that's usually considered more bullish. If price is trading above both moving averages when they cross, that will give you even more confidence to go long. When a shorter length moving average crosses down on a longer length moving average, that's usually considered more bearish. In this instance, we'll also look for price closing below both MAs to give us a bit more confidence in going short. Still, another way to trade the moving average crosses is to observe the level at which they cross. In some instances, these levels can act as support or resistance to price during pullbacks or extensions. For example, note the bullish crosses occurring on this chart. Yellow lines have been drawn at the cross levels. Price extends to the upside after the cross, and when it corrects, it has a tendency to find support at the level on which the moving average is crossed. The same idea works during downtrends as well. In the chart here, you'll note the yellow lines that correspond with moving averages crossing down. Price makes its initial move lower, and then when it corrects, it finds resistance at the level that the moving average is crossed above. Now that we understand a few different ways to trade the moving averages, let's briefly talk through how you can use the tools on the TrendSpider platform to streamline trading these setups. The same set of conditions that we scripted earlier for the Smart Checklist can actually be used all across TrendSpider. One of the most popular tools on the platform is the market scanner. So for example, if you're looking to scan for names meeting that criteria right now, you can do that by clicking on the market scanner button, going to script actions, saying load from template. Remember, we titled this price above SMAs. We choose the script, we choose our scan through list, select the current candle, and start scanning, and we're going to find all of the names meeting this criteria right now. If you're interested in being alerted when your favorite name is meeting this criteria, come up to the alerts and bots button, click on the three dots, say create multi-factor alert, again, script actions, load from template, price above SMAs, choose the script. You can retitle your alert name, you can change the expiry, change the amount of triggers, create the alert, and now you'll be alerted when your favorite name is meeting this criteria. Finally, you can also load this script into the strategy tester and see how a name performs when these conditions are met. So click on the strategy tester button. I'm going to come over here, type in price above SMAs. I've got my entry criteria, my exit criteria. I can run this script on any name that I want. And once I've found a system that works, I can set this script up in the trading bot and let the TrendSpider platform execute the trades for me. Clicking on the three dots, create a trading bot, choose my strategy, and I'm off to the races. So there you have it, folks, some simple yet effective ways to day trade using moving averages, as well as a thorough breakdown of how to utilize the TrendSpider platform to streamline that trading for you. I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in another TrendSpider technical analysis series video. As always, happy trading, and catch you next time.